Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to this week update. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, like, and comment. I need your honest comment here to grow this community. Please share it as well. Before going to today's weekly update, I want us to show us something, how to use rejection to know the immediate direction of the trade, if it's going to correct or it's going to move along that line. Now, this is DXY on the daily time frame, and also you can use it on the weekly time frame. This here is a clear rejection. This move here is a clear rejection, and price was forced to the downside. But how do we read this rejection? If this rejection here on the daily had preceded, or it was the first move, if we had a rejection on the first move, it clearly tells us that the price is still going to go back to grab liquidity before moving its course in the direction that it has chosen. That's how to look at rejection. If the rejection is the first move, immediate move. Otherwise, here, this rejection is the second move. The price had already made its course and a full body candle, formed to the downside, and price was forced up. And so this rejection here to force price down means that there's no liquidity that you want to grab around here. This went up to grab liquidity and price begin to come to the downside. Now, let's look at other area that we saw rejection. This is daily candle. See here, price came to the downside. Sorry, went up, and which means there was a rejection. I hope you can see this. There was a rejection, a small rejection here, closing in a week, which means the price most likely will first go down immediately. And you saw this sell before this. Of course, we are looking pari passu, as well as you are looking at the rejection, you are looking at the structure, you are looking at the wave count. So all these things are you have to put into consideration. Like here, also rejection to the downside, price went up. Another rejection to the downside means that the direction of flow here most likely is towards the downside ultimately, and we saw price went down until we had this. Now, we still believe here that we have not finished this correction on the DXY. This is a wave 1, wave 2, and we believe that in the wave 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, then we are doing a major 4, something similar to this now. Something similar to this. And one of the guide that will guide you where, not in all cases, where this may get to before we fall again, it's if you take a measurement from this low to the height of wave 2 here, just from the beginning of the retracement to the height of wave 2, and you clone and you put here at this base, it can guide you to the territory where we might finish up this correction to the upside. Now, let me go back to what rejection I'm talking about. Now, again, we see price, move up, was forced down, and again, price was rejected here. What do I see here? I don't see that price is going to go up. The rejection candle works 70% of the time for you to know that you don't want to continue to buy from this area because of this rejection. In as much as we believe that the price is not going down immediately, it's still going to go up a bit before falling. So what you can expect here is the price at least will still do a retracement or a correction, a small correction, or what do you call it again? A pullback. You can say a pullback or a small correction to grab some liquidity before going up the last time. And after that, we would expect price to begin to fall to break this low again. So that may finish up correction here. So that's what I can see here. So immediately, once the market opens, look for a correction or a retracement to the downside and try to buy from there shortly to break the top, and we fall. So we have this movement is what I'm expecting, a correction, break the top, then you can begin to now look for setup on DXY. On euro dollar, it's also similar. Now, you don't know where this is going to and where it's going to turn around and begin to go up again. So we still believe that this is a wave 4, which is almost being completed. Now, in this wave 4, of course, another way you can look at it is that, okay, we've had an A wave to the downside, a B wave, and in this B wave to the upside, that's another way of trying to interpret. It's a clear A wave to the downside, a B wave to the upside. And in this B wave to the upside, we are seeing a movement like this, A of B, B of B, and C of B. The first push is A of B, this correction B of B, and a C of B. Now, and this is a C wave to the downside. Now, in the C wave, we can see this as an A of C, a B of C, and a C of C, at least at minimum 100% extension to the downside, and which may give you a bit more. But ultimately, what would guide us here is to look at this as an A, B, and look at 100% extension of that. So the also 100% of extension of A, B, C here, and look at where 100% of extension of A, B, C here also will fall. They might actually give you a clue to where you may see reaction back to the upside. But what do we expect now? We'll see this as an A, B for now, and a C to the downside. So price is still going to go immediately up without breaking this top here, and price will come down. So let's look for a retracement, an opportunity to pick and begin to sell. That is what we should be looking for here. Now, on pound USD, if we are on pound USD, so what do we see? It's the same thing on pound USD. Pound USD may fall almost immediately. Pound USD may begin to fall almost immediately because of, if you look at this has made a bearish move, and it's a bearish move as well. So it has, had it been that, okay, this was forced as a bullish candle, if it closed as a bullish candle, we may expect that deep correction before. So if this closed as a bearish candle here, you might not expect that correction immediately. It might have finished. So you have to look at the contrast of the candle color and that rejection together. So this may just be pulling down. And if we get a correction to the upside, without breaking this area of 1.33450, then we are going to come down. Now, and where do you think we should expect reaction here? Okay, I think the same thing. Let me just first deal with all of that, Nzdusd USD, before I begin to give you a zone where to expect. Okay, here too, I think eventually this also is giving us, this may also give us some movement to the upside. Without breaking this top, then we fall. That is what I can see on the daily. It's almost done here. Maybe we can see a slight push to the upside. Look for sell to break down again before we go up. So that is what I can see here. Now, if we go on the XY to where exactly we should expect a change of pattern before we do a wave 5. So let's go on monthly time frame. Monthly time frame may help us better. On the monthly time frame here, the base here is an area that you should be looking for price to push to around 100,750 area. That's the area. You can see this high confluence here. This is a resistance here, resistance here, resistance. So that area, that zone, you're looking at this area, it's a tall order, or this area is a tall order. So I won't look at this area for now. I would first look at this area of high confluence here. Price, of course, has broken this. Price may break this, but this area, it's a very strong area. Around 100.750 is an area you should look for that reaction for us to go down again. Now, looking at euro dollars as well. Euro dollar as well. Yeah, the same thing. The first place is around this place. You should be looking from this tip here, the area around 1.1200, and this area also around 1.11300. So these are the areas. 1200, 11300 area. This zone is where you should expect this to finish and go up again to finish up with 5. So that's what you should expect. So with 4 here is almost done. So, but if you look at the internal structure and your count also as it relates to this area here of 1200 and 13300 and 11300, you know, would help us. Pound USD, what do you expect? Pound USD, on Pound USD, we want to look for support. I think the only support I can see here for now, look at this bullish candle. Where this one opens, it's an area you can look for, because where this one opens, where this one closes, also coincide with this area. So this is the area that you might be looking for around 31,300 or 31,500 area. That's where 1.31,500 area. You know, of course, it may push below 32. Between 32 and 31,500 area, it's where we should expect a reaction to the upside. And after reaction to the upside, probably we now begin to come down. Nzdusd USD. Nzdusd USD, now we're going to look for support. The support we can look for, you know, immediate support here, the cluster here, here, and here. These are the cluster. Between here, you can see all these 3 aligning here, 1, 2, 3, even with 4 here. So this area, and as well as around this tip here, price may also break below here, you know, So we should be looking at this area, but ultimately price should not take this area if we are correcting. So this area here, where you saw this, the open of this candle, the close of this candle and the open of this candle here, this base coincide with this also here, this resistance or support here. So these are the areas between here, that's 5 on 58, 200, 0.58 to 50, as well as 58, let's say 58, 650 and 58 to 50. That is the area you should be looking for this completion for price to go up again and before we now begin to come down. Now, let's now go to USDJPY, that's yen. Yen now, what we can see on yen, because we had been following this, has been one heck of a correction. So we saw this as an A at some point. It seems as if this one will not become a B and that it will go up and break the top. Now, gradually, it has messed us up. This is a B wave for me, and we are in a C wave. Now, this C wave can be divided into two. This may come down as an A of C. Probably a B of C may go up deep without breaking this area here, without breaking 151,500. Without breaking that area of 151,500 or yes, around or 152, yes, 152. Without breaking that area of 152, we should expect price to fall. But for me, I will be looking at the tip of this candle as well as here around this area as a potential area for price to decline again between 150 and 146, 700. So 150, 146, 700, that's the area I will expect this to fall. Probably will create a B wave and break low at 100 extension of 123 or 127 before we go to the upside. It's only if we now violate 1618 to the downside that we should expect a much more bigger movement to the downside. Now, if we look at this on the daily time frame, like I said, on the daily time frame, so the immediate move now, again, is that we should expect correction or a pullback to go up the more. So that is what I can see here. So any opportunity for us to pull back, look for yourself in between this area. Sorry, your buy in between this area to go up. And when we go up, where do we expect price? Of course, price is not coming to break this. This is the A wave, and this is the B wave, and we are in the C wave. So in the C wave, if we pull up as much as coming to this area, like I said, we're not going to break 152. 152 should be around this area. So we saw that resistance on the monthly time frame around that area. So yes, around this area. So price may still come up to this area. It may break this area, but in between here, let's see, because I'd marked that. If it's forming like wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, and that is going to be a wave 4, then we will know. But this looks like it's going to break really, and become a B wave to the upside. Let's look at it. So these are the areas I expect us to move backward to the downside. Price may actually hit this area of 148, 700 area without breaking this area of 151, 900 or 152. So that is what I could see here. If we go to the internal structure of this wave, this looks like an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And this C wave, the reaction to the downside is below, slightly a retracement below 50%. So this may now be in the B wave category. We might see an A of B, a B of B, and a C of B to the upside. Of C wave. This is an A wave, this is a B wave. And the C wave, of course, we might see an A of C, B of C, and C of C to the upside. Now, how do we guide ourselves? I think we should look at an extension of an A, B, C to the upside around 1618 might be an ideal place or target for us to look for a sell setup. So that is what I can say here. Now, on gold, if you look at the bigger picture on gold, let's go to the weekly time frame on gold. Now, on gold, now after this move, this correction here, that looks like the fourth wave to the downside, and A, B, and an ending structure here. And this is the first move here, and we saw a running flat of a wave 2. This is wave 1, A, B, C. Then this is a wave 3 of this move to the downside. Then we have an extended flat here. And we believe that this is wave 5 that is going up. Now, with this move in itself, within this move in itself, we are going to concentrate in this area because this is the last wave. So it may not finish, it may not have finished, like I said, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. And this fifth wave now from here, that started from here, 1,619 area, that is where we are doing our analysis to make sure that, okay, do we have a 5 wave already here? So for here now, we can see that we saw this wave 1 and wave 2. So this correction here, it's a wave 2, and we've not had any correction so far that is as big as this. So this is what we are expecting at the moment. We are expecting this correction at the moment. So this may now have been a 1 and a 2. The third wave is completed here for this last move. The third wave is completed. So we are expecting a correction deep as very something close to here. If you take a measurement from here down here, so if you can clone, that is exactly or something like that we are expecting here. So this is just the beginning of it. We are coming down to do a wave 4. It might be more complex. It might go up as an probably A, B, and a C, or WXY, or a zigzag. It might give us to come much lower. And once we are done with that correction, we'll go up again to break with 5 to the upside before a bigger correction that may break this low. But for now, we are taking it bit after bit. So this is one second wave. Third wave is completed. We are in the fourth wave of this structure, and the fifth wave once we are done. So these may fall close to like 6,000 pips before we do a wave 5. Now, if we now go inside of the daily to look at what we expect on the daily. So looking at the daily now, what can I see here? Looking at the daily here, what I can see here, it's probably an A, a B, and this B wave looks like a triangle here. If you look at the 4-hour time frame, you probably will see it very well, that it's like a triangle of A, B, A, B, C, D, and E before we begin to see this fall. Now we are seeing a doji here. This doji that we are seeing on the weekly time frame is going to close in another 4 hours or thereabouts. So we may still want to pull up. If we pull up, fine. If you don't pull up and we are coming to the downside, fine. So if you're not selling from here yet, I wouldn't say you want to sell from here. If we are opportune to still break a bit to the upside, yes, you would now want to pick another sell from there, So that's what I can see from here. This is like a doji, is saying nothing really in terms of pulling back, except if you go to the 4-hour time frame. Can we read anything on the 4-hour time frame? On the 4-hour time frame, we still cannot read. It seems it's pulling back. It seems it's pulling back. And if it pulls beyond here, fine. Then we look for an 100 extension without breaking this area here. Then we begin to come to the downside. So that's what we can expect. So like I said, on the 4-hour time frame, now we can see a wave A, price are just broken that with A, so broken that support now, and that tells us that this price is going to go down at least an 100 extension from here, A, B, and a C 100 extension. So we should expect that this may probably give us a reaction around 30, around this area, 31.29, around this area. We may see price fall to this area and complete an ABC of W. And if you're going to get an X that probably will not break this top here, then from that 31.29 to the 30, we should be looking for a buy setup. And if that goes up, we'll see again if around this area we'll get a sell setup to sell Y. That's what I can say from now. I think that is what we can see from here. If I bring out my drawing, so you can see that this is the area of 31, 39 that we might expect. If we get price to break up here, look for your sell again around 32.90 area, around this area, 32.90, 32.89 area. That's where you should look for sell without breaking 33.04. So, and price will come to this area before you look for another buy setup. So ultimately, this is the area that we might expect price to fall to around 29.56 area if we get that. But we have to take it one step at a time. So with that, I've come to the end of today's update, of this week update. Do like, share, and comment. Thank you.